Marcus Chun stood in his penthouse overlooking Manhattan, holding a 50-carat diamond ring that cost more than most people's homes. At 35, he'd conquered every metric of success: $8.2 billion net worth, 3 companies on the Fortune 500 list, a private jet, a yacht, influence that bent governments. But there was one thing his empire couldn't acquire: her. Sophia had been his executive assistant for 2 years. She wore simple black dresses, never wore makeup except lipstick, and somehow made Marcus feel like a teenager with a crush. The worst part? She treated him exactly like everyone else, with professional distance and zero awe. He'd tried the traditional billionaire playbook first. Expensive dinners at Michelin-starred restaurants where she ordered water and talked about climate policy. A weekend in Paris where she spent more time in the Louvre than accepting his gifts. Designer handbags left on her desk declined. A penthouse apartment in her name, returned with a polite email. Nothing worked. So Marcus did what he always did when facing a problem. He escalated. He orchestrated it perfectly. A yacht party in Monaco, the world's most exclusive guest list. A live performance by her favorite band Radiohead, flown in just for the night. He'd spent $12 million on the evening. When Sophia arrived, she looked breathtaking in a simple white dress. Marcus's heart nearly stopped. He took her hand, led her to the bow of the yacht, and dropped to one knee. The ring caught the Mediterranean moonlight. Behind them, 200 of the world's most powerful people watched in silence. Sophia, you are the only thing I can't acquire, control, or strategize. And that's precisely why I want to spend my life trying to understand you. Will you marry me? She looked at the ring, then at his face, and her eyes filled with tears. Marcus felt victorious. He'd done it. He'd cracked the code. Then she spoke. Marcus, I'm leaving. The words hit harder than any market crash. What? I'm quitting. Effective immediately. I'm moving to Costa Rica. But I just asked you to marry me. I know. And I loved watching you try. Her voice was gentle but final. You spent $12 million on this yacht party because you thought love was something you could price tag. You've tried to buy me literally buying gifts, experiences, moments. But you never once asked what I wanted. Marcus felt something crack inside him. I want to give you everything. I know, but I don't want everything. I want a life where I can choose my own path. I want someone who loves me, not someone who's trying to acquire me like a business asset. She squeezed his hand. You're an incredible man, Marcus. But you love what I represent: the puzzle you can't solve, the game you can't win. You don't love me. The words landed like a blade. When I leave tomorrow, I won't have the apartment, the jewelry, or the bank account you tried to set up. I'll have a backpack and a one-way ticket. And for the first time in 2 years, I'll feel free. As Sophia walked away, Marcus stood alone on the bow of his $500 million yacht, surrounded by the world's most enviable things, feeling poorer than he'd ever been. He'd built an empire on the principle that everything had a price. But love, he finally understood, was the one thing that couldn't be negotiated. And no amount of money could buy that lesson back. Sophia never returned his calls. 6 months later, he heard she was running a small ecotourism business in Costa Rica, happy and free. Marcus learned to be alone. And somehow, that was the first real thing he'd ever owned.